it's a coat of many colors. It is never black and white. Can't have one without the other. The dark without the light. In the summer we were lovers. With a flame our hearts would burn. A flame the autumn would smother and leave this heart to yearn forever blue, forever blue. I'm putting on a show for the world to see. No one will ever know that without you I'm forever blue. No more waking up early.
And hello everybody, and I hope you're having a wonderful evening as I am, because we are back with another episode of the Kindred of Fog City, episode 3, A Funny Little Coincidence. In just a moment, we're going to be introducing all of our players, but in terms of content warnings for tonight, there's not much to actually go over, since tonight's going to be a little bit of a lighter session, unless art shows are kind of a thing for you. In that case, please use your own discretion when watching, and other than that, I think we are good to go with the intros. Why don't we start in the... I forget which order I started last time, but I'm just going to go ahead and start with... Leona, go ahead and introduce your character and their pronouns.
Hi, I'm Leona. You can find me on Twitter at @LeonaMaple. Tonight, I am playing Uma Shicker. Her and I both use she, her pronouns. She is our beloved Anarch Anu Hakim.
Continuing on to the right, D, if you would go ahead and do the same.
Hello, my lovely creatures of the dark. My name is D. I use any pronouns that make you feel special inside, and I will be bringing to you DJ Green this evening. He uses he, him pronouns and causes trouble wherever he can, basically. And I'm going to pass it to my right to Glyza.
Hi, I'm Glyza. I go by they, them. Today I'll be playing Aurora, I don't know, the narc, I guess. I'm a person of many hats. I'm a podcast host. I'm a writer. I'm a variety streamer. I'm a talk show of a show called Trial Run. I'm also a TTRPG personality. If you want to see all the stuff that I'm in, just check out bio.link/classical Glyza to see wherever you can find me. Or actually just look for @classical Glyza everywhere else on the socials, especially on Twitter, because I make all of my announcements there.
Not to lose that momentum, continuing on to the right as well. Tate, go ahead.
Well, hello, Twitch. My name is Tate Washburn. You can find me at @kind_writing on Twitter. And I and my character uses he, him pronouns, my character being Destin Knight Morgat, the vampire detective and blood sorcerer who is just starting to be grumpy at everyone except for Malcolm, who he's very grumpy with all the time.
And last but certainly not least, Foxy, if you would go.
Happily. How you doing, Internet? It's Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. And tonight, you are all blessed with the company of Malcolm Duvernay, Toreador Savant, art connoisseur, and lover of artists. Figure out what that means for yourself.
And I will be your storyteller for tonight. I am Milan, also known as Mallard on the internet, and I use he and they pronouns. Now, I think we are... Oh, we already have a redemption, so get those things on. Okay, we are ready to go. Where we last left off, a quick recap. Aurora had a night clubbing and managed to, with the help of Reyna from the Valkyries, apprehend a narcotics distributor or a drug dealer and brought them back to the Duvernay Manor, where an interrogation by Uma and not Malcolm, Dustin took place, and they received some interesting information about a certain figure known as the Man in Black. However, a full day has passed since then. Rather quickly, realizing the sun was close to being up, the various members either left to their own havens or went to sleep in the manor. I believe 3 of them already live there, so that's pretty easy for them. And it has been another night. The day passed quickly for you all in your not exactly a trance or a slumber. Sleep is not the right... It's the best word you have in our language, at least. And as you all rise from your various places of rest, on the next night, you awake, and you know you have a few days before Alexei is set to meet with the Man in Black again. And we're going to start with a quick, very quick, how you start your days today before things change. We're going to start with, DJ Green for this one. Would you like to describe your haven again for us in a little more detail, since it's been a couple episodes?
Sure. So DJ's Haven is a block of 12 apartments in a building that he owns. And he probably stayed in 205 last night, which is his personal favorite. And it's actually like furnished out. It's nice on the interior. All the apartments have blackout curtains, of course. An obnoxiously large TV that's probably like currently paused while the PlayStation is on, and DJ just like essentially unstiffens from the sleeping and just wakes up on the couch and spends 15 minutes completely expressionless staring at the ceiling.
The thin sound of drizzle hitting the roof can be heard just faintly on this fall day. The fog has rolled in thick tonight as condensation is heavy. If you could all feel cold, you would know that this would be a night definitely to bundle up, or carry even an umbrella just in case the rain gets worse. And you get a text, Green, from a number you have quite a few unread messages from. It's just an invite. It's an invite to an art show that is going to be taking place at around 10 p.m. this evening.
Gotcha. Okay.
At the Art Institute, San Francisco.
I think that the messages are read, just not replied to.
Right.
I'll sort of like type out a text that says, a little busy, don't know if I can, and then DJ will stop and delete it. And I'll text her, I'm not wearing a suit.
You get a response back. Good, I didn't want you in one anyway. It's not that kind of vibe. Because this art, as you open the little image that was sent to you, it is a screenshot of a flyer. It's not what you would think for an art exhibit, because it's not meant to be... It's not quote-unquote fine art discipline, which is a bullshit term, may I just say. It features a lot of different types of art. There is... The title is the art of San Francisco in particular, and you see there are sections in part of the ad. There is a part where it is actually street art. Oh, that's a lot of +2, -2s. How +2, -2s work, since VTM is not a D20 based system, I think what that would be best to do is just add a die to each dice pool that you And so there's 5, so I think that's 1 for each player. Go ahead and you can add 1 die to a pool you roll tonight.
Thanks, Vermin. You're the best, Bay.
All right. But you do not have a suit, and you do not plan to wear one.
I will sort of get up and just like drag my nails across the wall as I walk through the apartment. I'll go, Alexa, play instrumental folder 4. And like these very, very high quality speakers
Sorry.
are set up. It's fine because trust me, I'm gonna get to it. I do like that comment though. But these speakers are set up in various corners of the entire apartment so that it like bounces off the walls in a way, and there's sound padding treatment in various places so that it sounds the same volume no matter where you're standing in the apartment. And the Alexa Home is actually in the center of a very modified stereo system, and it has an upgraded mic and voice recognition software, funnily enough. I got that off of a Nosferatu friend of mine. And I'll just open my closet and flip through a couple of different things and just get dressed, I guess.
Well, you do have like a few hours since the sun set a bit earlier in this time of year before before daylight savings has been changed and stuff.
Gotcha.
But I feel like I don't know if you do anything else with that time.
In that case, I'll just like take my clothes out, iron them, and then throw them in the dryer, and then iron them again, and just work until I need to get ready.
Awesome. Putting on the business. We're going to go all the way now to and remind me, because this is my fault for misremembering, but Uma, your haven is a single apartment, right? You have your own flat.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, awesome. You also receive a text this night.
Ooh.
It's from a friend of yours. It's from a mortal friend of yours.
Hmm.
And you receive an advertisement for an art show tonight from your good friend Jezelyn, asking you, "Hey, I'm going to this thing tonight. I think there's going to be some cool people if you wanted to meet them."
I will respond to Jeslyn and I will say, for you, anything. I'll see you tonight.
And they respond like with a couple of emojis and say, "Sweet, I get free tickets, student discount," and then a couple of like the tongue emoji.
And I just respond back with an A.
Awesome. And we go now all the way to the Duvernay Manor. And another text is read. Malcolm, describe where you're sitting in your manor at this moment.
Let's see, it's approaching late day, so I'm probably still in my bedchamber, just in one of my reading chairs, enjoying a novel or something. It's really old and hasn't been published in a decade or two, but I don't know, I'm a fan.
You're reading this manuscript version of a novel that is already considered a classic, and your phone buzzes. You look at it. What's the contact information for this person? What do you have them listed as in your phone?
Assuming it's who we're talking about, it is probably just no. Malcolm's not a zoomer like the rest here. He doesn't really get down with the emojis and contact names, but this person's name is just a single white rose emoji.
And it's a terminal number and a time. And nothing else.
Those things were going too easy for me, yes? Fantastic. And I guess at that point he'll just start the rest of the things for the day, busying himself with checking on emails and, checking in on things. There's, an event he has to coordinate, so there's plans to make sure that that all goes smoothly. I think there are a few guests of honor he wants to make sure arrive on time. He'll put Dustin on making sure that he picks them up and puts them elsewhere. He'll tell him to take one of the four-seaters, mostly because he apparently has his own business to attend to tonight. So that's probably what the most of that is. It's just after sending out emails and texts and bothering and checking on things. And then, I don't know. I guess I'll watch the news. Why not?
It's around like 2010. Unfortunately, it starts on a news program talking about a tan suit and how scandalous that is, and you quickly change the channel to something much better.
Yeah, then it's just another news report, and that Bobby Shmurda. He's got a career ahead of him. I hope jail won't ruin that anytime soon. I'm
Damn.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry.
Right. Do you go personally to the airport?
Yep. Not risking getting anyone else involved in whatever I'm sure this will be.
It's rather easy for you to slip out of your own manor unnoticed. You know all of the ways where the halls don't quite echo.
I mean, I
Whereas
designed this
others
place
do.
myself, so,
Exactly. You pick your nicest car, I assume.
Gonna say it's probably like, you know what? I'm feeling like I'm a little postmodern here. I'm throwing the Escalade out today. It's blacked out. It's like the black on black. The rims is black. The dashboard's black. I'm black. I mean, like it's just that's all I'm saying. Like anyway,
It's been a while since you've driven, and when you're looking at street signs, they updated them, huh? New design. Doesn't look as nice as you think they used to. Streets are a lot more crowded than you remember. As you pull to the San Francisco International Airport, you drive up to where the private planes and chartered planes drop off their passengers. You don't see anyone waiting for you yet. You, I assume, arrive early.
Oh dear. Well, I suppose if there's no one I'm immediately looking for, then one second. There you go. I suppose I'm mostly just like probably gonna turn on some tunes, I guess. I haven't really listened to music in a while, so I guess I'll do that for now.
You're listening to a song, and you turn on the radio. I'm assuming, is it set to like a hip hop station?
Yeah, probably. I don't fully understand what these kids are going for with this hip hop thing, but I understand the lack of desire for authority. Again, I'd say why not just murder your politicians, but it's baby steps.
It does occur to you, you might be able to ask the author that question at some point, but after a moment, you listen to like half of a song before you see someone step out of the terminal. Someone dressed in a chauffeur's uniform behind them, holding up a white umbrella, careful not to let rain fall upon them. And you see this face underneath, poking out of your sire.
Oh, dear.
Elegant, smoky eyeshadow and a very neat, crisp look with a dress that you can only assume costs as much as your house.
Yep. I think Malcolm does the weird thing of like he opens the car door so the music is suddenly audible to the world around him. Can't hear it for copyright, obviously, but if anyone's curious, the song is probably like Sunday. It's an Earl Sweatshirt song that would have dropped like this year actually. It's 2010 is here. It's got Frank Ocean on it. It's a really good fucking song actually. I think it's probably in the middle of Frank's verse actually, and Malcolm's just like silently mouthing the words while going to open the other door and not saying anything else.
As your sire, Velena walks up. Without saying anything, she does a quick hand gesture to her butler, who opens the back door. Well, you already opened the back door. She sits in, and the butler closes the umbrella and just does a bow before walking off, presumably to find their own way home.
Hmm.
And the door is shut.
Ever the flair for the dramatic, I suppose. And I guess he'll just go sit back in front. Look up front for a bit as the song ends and just fly well.
I had to charter a plane this time. Had to sell my jet a few years back.
Oh, the woes of a life such as yours.
It's good to see you too, Malcolm.
Do not flatter me with lies.
What? I can't check in on my dearest just for a moment?
If I had the ability to tell you no, you wouldn't be here now.
Well, I am in town for a time, so you're just going to have to get used to it. I have business here.
Did I have the mercy of assuming that business doesn't involve me, or am I...
It might. Although, to be fair, this business you might want it to involve you.
Well, consider my interest piqued.
I never could quite get that ambition into you.
Never been about ambition. I think you've failed to realize that this entire time.
Oh no, there are plenty of things you work hard for. You just need the right incentive. And as she says this, she's reapplying lipstick into a mirror compact.
He will deliberately
sure-
shift his mirror away.
To be clear, you did have to, because she
Oh,
is
absolutely.
making sure it's reflected in yours as well.
Of course. And where would my leader like to be this evening?
You know I don't care for hotels, so I need to rest for this evening. I assume you have other things to attend to. I heard about your business here. Quite impressive, actually, collecting as much as you have.
I think Malcolm quirks an eye at that and actually says, "Certainly then. I'll drop you off at the manor and then I'll go attend to my business thusly." And I think he starts pulling off immediately.
All
He'll
right.
spend the entire drive being quiet, won't say a word because that's not a good idea. The only thing notable is like, actually, you know what? I'll wait. Other people first.
Well, we are going as you get to the manor. I assume Dustin. We'll come back to what Dustin has been doing, but that Dustin has already gone off to do business. You enter, and your Valkyries. Two of them are there to welcome you, as is customary when you take a drive, which has not happened in a while.
Isis, Isabella, good evening.
As you step out, Velena looks to them and does the thing where like she cups someone's chin. Velena is shorter than a lot of people, so she has to angle them down to look them in the eyes. Oh, don't worry, Malcolm. I won't do anything you wouldn't do. They're prettier than last time.
I appreciate the glamour of your approval.
Oh, please, can't we be civil for once?
This is civility. You recognize that, yes?
You know what I mean.
Exactly. But he actually, at that point, gonna completely shift personas and like crack a really like wide and almost uncomfortable smile and just, my apologies. From hence, I will be the very mirror of civility.
Excellent. Now you have another guest, if I've heard correctly.
That I do.
Oh, I would love to meet her.
Hmm. He'll open the door and just call out, Aurora, dress yourself well. You're accompanying me this evening.
And what is Aurora wearing? You're muted.
Aurora's actually in the library. Um, she'd woken up a lot, as soon as she woke up and noticed that everything is quiet. And maybe she woke up after Malcolm had left. And she went straight to the library to continue some of her own research of why she came here to San Francisco. So when Malcolm called out, um, Aurora is a little confused because usually Malcolm doesn't really call for her. So she does stand and she looks at her nightgown and comes out of the library and sees Malcolm with somebody new.
Your first instinct is, oh, who is this person? You see a bit on the shorter side, a very conventionally attractive, if more mature looking woman. She is black and she has this short hair that is tied in the back. It looks like professionally maintained. And she just
I
looks at you with these piercing eyes that they remind you of someone. And you're about to put it out there before she speaks up and confirms it. As striding over to you, she cups your cheek. Oh, Jericho could always pick the good ones. Hello, dear. And she holds out her arms for a hug.
uh and with that I do smile and hug my grandsire. Hello. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. Jericho has said many good things about you.
I'm sure. Ah, it's good to finally be back from Europe. A decade is far too long to be away from the States.
I wouldn't know. I've never really left the country myself.
Oh, well, I'll have to take you with me next time that I can. Hmm.
I would
And
love
she
that.
looses her arm in yours. Please, we're going to sit and speak for a little bit, Malcolm. If you do need Aurora, just about 10 minutes should be enough. I want to hear everything. And she pats you almost matronly on your shoulder, Aurora.
Oh, of course. Well, Malcolm, I'll see you later, I guess.
Take all the time you need.
Okay. And I follow.
She leads you almost like she owns the place to a sitting room where there are a pair of chairs that face each other. And she sits you down and is holding your hands. So tell me, how long have you been of the night?
I want to say it has been about, let's say, 31 years now. My true
30
age,
years.
62.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, you are a sparkling jewel, I must say. It is lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Yes, it is a shame. I'm so glad that they haven't given up. You've lasted so long.
You know then.
Of course I do.
Hmm.
As unfortunate as it is, what happens to you, and she matter-of-factly puts a long nailed finger over your heart, comes from me before putting it on her side as well.
I see. Is there any way to fix it?
Fix is a strong way to put it. But there are countermeasures that can be taken. I have a few close friends. Well, friends. I have a few close tools who I can call upon whenever I need to. Whenever I'm in a situation where I may be concerned. A blood sorcerer of high enough level can temporarily ward you.
This is very good information. Thank you for sharing. Is there anything I can do for you?
Oh, you've done so much. Just keep being your lovely self. Although, perhaps you could show me around the city one of these nights? I do need to meet some of the new people.
I would love to. Honestly, I have been cooped up in this manner for a little bit, and I'm also interested in meeting new people and seeing new things.
Oh dear, I hope miserable Malcolm hasn't kept you locked away here.
Oh, it's more of ignored, really, and it's not for lack of trying.
Oh, you know how he is. When he wants something, he just doesn't have the balls to take it.
I wouldn't know if he wants something because that's a very interesting statement there.
Oh
I
dear.
don't know if he wants something or not, but I have been ignored.
Oh dear. And she cups your chin again, but a little like harder this time. Who could resist a face like that? Well, as I was told, you and Malcolm have business to attend to, and I need to unpack, so she
Thank you.
confidently straddles up, not to the master bedroom, not to Malcolm's room, but to the second largest room, which is one you've probably slept in a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have.
The bed is definitely made, because,
Yeah, it's
the
cool.
almost invisible servants in this manor are on the ball, keeping it spotless. All right. Go do your thing,
Okay.
please.
It's my pleasure. And again, it's a wonderful thing to meet you. And I'm sure I'll send message to my dad that you're doing well.
And she just closes the door behind her.
I am
I
gonna
imagine,
go.
Malcolm, would you
I'm
have been close around enough to hear some of that conversation?
Nah, I don't think it's worth it.
I
Okay.
would I would go straight to Malcolm. Uh I don't know where Malcolm is, but I am gonna keep looking until I find Malcolm.
He's probably in the cellar, honestly, amongst his art collection,
Okay.
staring at old soldiers.
I'm going to slowly come down the cellar and I'm gonna go, Malcolm.
Oh, Aurora, you can join me. Sorry, I was distracted.
Uh yeah, that was an interesting moment with I'm assuming your sire as well, right?
You listened correctly. Interesting is a word.
Yeah. This is my first time meeting her.
She seems quite fond of you.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether she wants something, or she's very helpful actually currently. So
Well, if I can tell you anything about Madame Nerval, if there is something she wants from you, you'll know.
clearly, this business that we have to go to, was that just something that you had to say in front of her, or do I actually have to dress nicely?
It's honestly entirely up to you. I wouldn't mind the distraction, but alas, you are your own woman.
Well, if you ask like that, how could I ever say no?
You flatter me.
What time do you need me to be ready?
Whenever you can be. Timeliness is akin to caring about these things, and, well, I simply can't be caught doing that.
Of course, of course. Well, I'll get ready then, and I'll meet you at the bottom of the stairs, whatever. I'll see you
Sounds well.
soon.
Be safe.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go and get ready.
Similarly, I'll put on a record player, spin some tunes, I don't know, sit for a bit, and then maybe get dressed.
Awesome. While that is going on, very, very short scene of what Dustin would have done that morning before attending to business that we don't need to cover on screen.
Yeah, well, I mean, his morning ritual is as always, because the bloodstones that he makes that let him track people kind of need to be maintained. Like, one will die about when he starts another one. He has one that he started, I think he finishes today, swaps it out with the dead one, and does the rounds. He tends to check on just where any entrances are, if the Valkyries have seen anything, and then, the several kindred that he is taking care of, including the rowing team.
The rowing team is actually out for this evening.
Mm-hmm.
You just see a note hastily written in the worst handwriting you've ever seen. It just says, "It's bro night. We're going to the arcade. You can join if you want, if you're not working. But you are working tonight, so unfortunately, the broing out will have to wait."
Because I was looking so hard. I was just looking forward to that so much. Sure. Mm-hmm. Now, Dustin is happy that he has an excuse, but he's also going to make sure there is somebody watching after them.
You get a text, or do you want to text someone?
Yeah, I mean, first it would just be checking with the Valkyries if any of them did that, but doesn't expect them to because they're not really their job.
Nah. The
gonna
Valkyries
be,
have exclusive. The Valkyries and the rowing team's relationship is exclusively in the gym at the same time, like spotting each other. That is their only
This is fair.
interaction.
This is fair. I warned them to. I'm sure it's like nothing more than that. Trust me, you don't want to deal with that. No, and then it'll be probably checking with Lincina, or can't remember what I named her.
Yeah, that's correct. You send her a a text. What do you say?
Ask if she followed the rowing team, and if not, can she?
She responds, "Oh, I got the invite for bro night, but I was just gonna go hang out somewhere else. If you're not there, I'll go make sure they don't do something stupid like breaching or anything."
That would be great. I think one of them might be developing alacrity. Keep an eye out. That's what he texts back.
Awesome. You just get a thumbs up, like you get not an emoji, you get a GIF of a thumb just like wobble, like 2 frames of an animation.
It's like,
It takes like a full 15 seconds to upload since we're still at like 2G on phones.
Yeah, that seems about right. I'll see the GIF loading and then just close it. I'm not waiting for. If she was gonna say no, she wouldn't send it to me in GIF form. So I'm like, no, it's fine.
All right. And as you quickly attend to the rest of your business around the manor. You notice Malcolm's gone. No one else is like awake. The silent watchers of the Valkyries are just there, so you get a head start on your preparations for the evening because you are assigned to be security at the event. Alongside like 2 other Valkyries who are just there to be like ushers essentially. And I think we can fast forward actually to an hour from this point. Arriving independently of each other, but perhaps a little surprised at the other Coterie's attendance to this event.
Real quick, I'm not the GM. But was there a reason that we didn't check in on Uma?
We did.
We did.
It was a short one.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
my
is real
girl
short.
texted me.
Right,
Pretty ass
yes.
girl. Shorty's a
Yes,
fucking
right,
firecracker.
right.
God, good
Right.
lord.
Yeah,
She's
the
my
tongue
girl.
emoji.
Shit, I might be on a diet. I can look at the menu. God damn. You ain't got a fucking Jesus. I'm just saying. Shorty's
No,
a fucking dime piece and a half, is all I'm saying.
yes, and she's mine, no touchy.
Shit, one more her, I could grab a goddamn piece of candy, is all I'm saying. Shit.
My girl
And
texted
we're actually, that is a good point, because we're going to start with Uma and Jesselyn. Apologies.
you good.
You arrive. You're meeting her there, and you see her waiting outside for you. She is in this like. It is nicer clothing, but it's definitely like very low. It's like lower cut. Like she's here to strut and present as well, because it's a social event. It's fun. And you see she's talking to a couple of other people around, like you assume the same age as her. And she just goes and she waves over at you. Waves you over.
Hey girl, hey.
Hey! Oh, these are just my friends, Matt, Nikki. They're not staying for the event, but we were just hanging out earlier. Glad you could make it! Oh my god! And she gives you a hug.
Of course, babe. As if I would never come anywhere that you invite me. Are you kidding me? And I'll absolutely hug her back.
Do you have any spent willpower?
Good question. Do we? Let's check that. Does willpower reset between sessions?
It normally should, but I have a homebrew rule where it actually only resets when you spend time with someone like your touchstone.
Aw, well, guess what? I do have 1 spent willpower.
And you get it back, because you are in the... You feel a relief wash over you as you are around this person, and no roll needed. You automatically activate your Blush of Life just when you hug. Almost on instinct and almost as a reaction to being around her.
Can't blame you for that. She making my blush of life activated. I'm all the way over here. I'm just fucking saying. Jesus. I'm gonna go back to you now. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, they haven't opened the doors yet, but I actually spotted one of the artists over there talking to someone. Come on. And she pulls your arm, and you are surprised, maybe taken aback, to see a young woman in a baggy hoodie and like jeans that are splattered with paint, talking to someone you recognize, talking to DJ Green.
Well, shit, I did not prepare for this, and I had to figure out if I know DJ or if I don't know DJ. I'm
You
gonna
interact.
I'm gonna play
Oh, you're
clueless.
deciding.
Yeah. No, I'm talking out of character. I will play it clueless. I will let her drag me wherever the hell she wants, and I'll just be one of the girls for tonight. Like, we're just having a night on the town.
Yeah,
Big
so
deal.
the 2 groups are brought together. Jesselyn's like, can I just say, I'm so excited for this exhibit, talking to the young woman who looks at her quizzically for a moment. Oh, yeah, awesome. Well, like, hope you like it. Sorry, your name was? I'm Jeslyn, and this is my friend. This is Uma. We're so hyped for tonight. I'm like, it's gonna be great. I have another friend who is working the event, so yeah, just support her.
Uma's just vibing. She's just chilling. She's, letting Jocelyn do the talking.
DJ is also very pointedly saying nothing right now.
I think
When you see your online friend in public.
Fact.
I think Uma, when no one else is looking, definitely drops DJ like a little wink. Just 'cause she
DJ
can.
just does the
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've clearly, apparently heard of me. I'm Washington. This is Green. Nice to meet you two. Yeah, we're here to, you know. Yeah, you get the sense this is not a super social person. Mostly spends their time just in their art.
That's pretty cute, honestly. Like, artists still love their art. Nothing wrong with that.
Didn't you say
yeah.
you wanted to set up that thing before the doors open, Zay?
Oh, yeah, I gotta go meet those. I can't let you in. You're not one of the people exhibiting. This financer dude who comes to the college all the time. He was like, "Hey, do you want to put on a gallery?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll grab some of my friends." I had to, yeah. So I gotta go. We gotta go make sure everything's perfectly set up. I think they're still installing Connor's piece. Like, come on, how are you gonna make a sculpture and then not have plans to transport it, dude? All right, peace. And she goes through the service entrance and is let in by a couple of security at the event.
I'd like to walk up with her until I am told that I cannot go with her.
Yeah, like one of the dude is just like, "Oh, sorry, you one of the artists?"
I mean, I'm an artist. I'm her manager. Basically.
She looks at you and says nothing, and he's like, "All right, go in." And you are led inside. You see this gallery is not like what you would expect. There is no table of hors d'oeuvres and people carrying champagne around. It is very intentionally, lo-fi is not the correct word, but it is set up very intentionally to almost mimic a street in San Francisco. You see there is this one section of just... It is wood paneling that has been put up against buildings for like cracked windows that has been spray painted over and then has been removed and placed back here with plaques in front of each one. You see art depicting a young black man with a large afro of hair, and he's just like looking with staring almost directly back at the viewer. No specific impression on the face, and then a tag underneath it for a name. You see another section, what you assume is the sculpture, as there are like 5 people gently lowering it on like 2x4s onto a plaque. It is this pillar of concrete that has had a sledgehammer taken to it to carve chunks out, almost into the shape of a person, and chains that go down the back like hair. Looks like it was poured, removed, and then broken into that shape. Almost very interesting, and it doesn't have. It's just listed as Untitled and just has the author's name under it. And you see, there's a section of paintings that Alize just walks up to and just looks at, hands inside the hoodie in front. You see one of these is a landscape. Not exactly a landscape. You recognize the shape of it. It's your apartment building. But it's been done with various colors, and it almost looks like someone who would normally. It looks like a set of lenses has been put over. It is very realistically proportioned, but it's fantastical in appearance. The sun is just a vibrant like shape instead of just a round ball. The trees are dappled with hundreds of little kaleidoscopic colors. Outside there is a figure. It is not hyper detailed, but the form is just of a long shadow on the sidewalk instead of actually standing up, with two white dots for eyes and a crooked smile. And you know this figure because you've seen some of Washington's other works. In most of the pieces, there is that shadow with the wide, crooked smile and the eyes in the shadows.
I mean, it looks good, Zay. I don't know, you know, it's the colors are a little wild, but that's the crib for sure. Are you going to give me back that hoodie, or is that just yours now?
I mean, do you want it back? And you notice there are a lot of like color swatches on it. You can have it back if you really want it, but like, this is the perfect painting gear.
I've bought you several aprons to prevent this.
You don't get it. And she like pulls out. There's like 3 brushes that she pulls out from the hoodie pocket.
Bro, come on. Okay.
Sure, aprons have pockets, but it's not as convenient, man.
Well, it looks good. Do you know those girls outside?
Nah, I mean, apparently they recognized me. I don't fucking know how. Like, I don't sell my shit. Well, not yet.
And
Speaking of,
you've never seen any of them, right?
not that I can recall.
Okay.
Probably Connor running his mouth again.
Yeah,
You
Connor.
know, he hangs out at like he goes to college parties and shit. Dude's yeah. I mean, it's not that weird. I always forget he's like 5 years younger.
Yeah.
His sculpture's
Alright.
good though. And she turns towards it.
And I turn to look at the concrete thing and go, yeah, that's I mean, I don't get it, but if you say it's good, then I trust your judgment.
Nah, stand here. And she pulls you and she puts you at an angle. See it? It's a person.
And the whole time she's doing like a description of like what it looks like and what it stands for, DJ is just looking at her as she like just like slowly slips into that artist mindset of like, no, this is actually great. And DJ's just like staring at her the whole time.
And you do hear some of the words like, well, I mean, like it's clear it's a mother, right? Look at how the chains are pulled back. Probably a black woman, I would assume. You know, Connor's always about sending a message. The form, you know, it's trying to be a little feminine, but it's also rough. And it starts to go out there. If you have any spent willpower, you could regain though.
I will indeed regain that spent willpower.
As you are spending time with your touchstone. It is at this point that you have gotten a sneak peek earlier before everyone else that I feel like you three probably arrived together. The manor crew.
Yeah,
okay with
that seems
arriving.
about right.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like a little bit of a mismatch because this event, the tickets were like $2 free for students, right? But I'm assuming Malcolm's out here strutting in a very nice suit. Aurora's in a very, very regal-looking gown or dress. Or would you like to describe it?
I'm wearing what I'm wearing right now, which is a nice white dress. Very, it's a night out. And she wants to look good, and also look young. So, she is wearing a very nice white dress with harnesses, with a harness in front, and very short. It's a very short skirt. But she is wearing thigh stockings and boots.
Mm.
Awesome. And Dustin, you actually fit in pretty well. You see there's a few people who look at you. Like one person walks up behind you and says, "Oh, hey, Mark. Oh, sorry, man. You look exactly like my friend. You're chill." And he goes back over.
Like,
You
I don't
actually
think I've gotten
recognize.
that recently. I know.
Go ahead.
You do actually recognize one other person here. Standing a little bit at the back, it's a really, really like emaciated, thin-looking dude. Like you would assume you could see his ribs if his shirt was off. Is a white dude. He's got this short blonde hair, dirty blonde that is just messily swept to the back. You recognize him. He's a thin blood you've met before. He seemed fine, so you haven't done much work with him. He's got like a night job and he's got like an apartment.
I thought you were
He
gonna
looks
say it's
unique.
every Tumblr user, but that's okay.
I mean, you assume he's on Tumblr. He just looks at you and he's like, he does like a head nod.
Mhm. Remind me, did I send off a message to ask for, like, what if anything, the Thin Bloods know about our current problem?
I think you had planned to. You hadn't actually gotten around to sending it yet.
Mm-hmm. And we recognize this guy as, like, even somewhat part of the organization, or is he kind of, like,
He's
also
not. He's
weird
not
by their
like part of.
standards?
He's not really part of your network. You know
Okay.
of him. He's just one of the thin bloods
Yeah.
in the city. This is Devin. Some dude you met like a couple times because he's friends with some of the people you're friends with. It's like that.
Mm.
Oh, I've seen you at like a kickback once or twice. You know.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, I'll just nod back, but not really make moves to go interact with him, I don't think, if I don't know him that well.
All right. And when you arrive, Malcolm, that is when the doors are opened, and you are let in first. The velvet rope is undone, and people begin filing in. And the five of you are now in this gallery.
As soon as DJ sees the doors open and Malcolm, I would assume I see all three of them when they walk in. Yeah,
You do.
DJ just like audible enough to Alizé goes, "Ah, fuck me."
Hey, dude was actually really generous. He gave us the space.
Okay. And then Aurora walks in and I start tapping Alizé and I go, check. And I just like point her out because this is definitely a top fucking hobby of ours is to just like look at hot people when they walk by together.
You're really
Bad.
just like me.
Aurora is gonna go
For real.
as soon as Aurora sees DJ. She is going to unloop her arm from Malcolm and just sort of like walk towards DJ and just be like DJ, and then sort of like does the whole like European whatever.
Hey, what's up?
I didn't
What's
know you'd
up?
be here.
You
I
see,
didn't know you'd be here.
I didn't know I'd be here either.
you see Alizé like does the thing where she's like making the face where she looks at you. Oh, and how do you two know each other?
Oh, it's work friends. Yeah,
work.
she's new in town recently, so I let her go up to the club. Remember the club I told you that my uncle gives
Yeah.
me like VIP passes to?
Isn't
I
that
let her
every
borrow
club?
one. Well, when you've got an uncle in the music business. You're here for the whole exhibit, huh?
Uh, apparently.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good to see you. Um, I will look at Alize and go, you've gotta start doing your hostess artist thing. Shit.
I
I'll just go
Uh,
show her around.
yeah. You're gonna stick around till after, right? We should hang out. It's been a
I
while.
didn't quite catch your name. Aurora.
Oh, I'm Zay Washington. I did that, and she points to like this like 3 painted scenes that I described earlier.
It's very gorgeous. You are very talented.
Thanks. You're a friend, and she like gestures over to Malcolm. Saw some of the works at the college and was like, "Hey, I want to put on a show for you." And I said, "Can I get my friends in on it?" And he said, "Yeah." And so we did.
Malcolm is very generous when it comes to art. So
Oh, so you started this whole thing because of you said his name was Malcolm. Let's go talk to Malcolm. I want to go talk to Malcolm. Let's come on, Aurora, and I'll
What?
like start pulling
And
Aurora
she
back
she
toward
like she
Malcolm.
like taps you on the arm before you go. Hey,
Ah,
just like don't be weird. Like,
I'm not gonna fuck anything up. I promise.
dude's rich. He might buy one of these things, and that could like actually make it so I can start paying you rent.
You don't have to worry about that. Go be art. Go. And I'll start walking towards Dustin and Malcolm.
It was nice meeting you. And then I will follow.
I like to imagine Dustin watched that whole exchange at a distance and just like also looks a little exasperated. It's like, I can't. Why would you do that?
Greet my friends? Why not?
Did you have a good reason why you're friends, or did you just say, "Hey, I'm a vampire"?
I just
That's how
do people have to tell each other how they're friends all the time?
people ask all the time.
It is at this point, Uma, that you and all the other people with tickets walk in.
It's
You would see, you saw Green here. Now you also see Malcolm, Aurora, and Dustin all at once, and you're like, oh shit, did
Come on,
something
it's
happen?
here.
Yeah, low key, oh shit. On the other hand, it's Malcolm, so like art exhibit, Malcolm. She's not as surprised as she probably should be. She is gonna play it intensely cool. Like she doesn't know anybody here. Like Malcolm, Aurora, DJ.
I'm getting real sick of this fucking wooby dooby bullshit. All right, we over this shit. I'm walking up. Uma, good evening. Wonderful. DJ, you're here too. How great to see you both.
Wait, am I also
Is-
there? I didn't realize.
You've
You've
You
come
walk
to the
in.
building.
You've
at
come in at this
point.
point. Yeah, I'm over this fuddy duddy bullshit. All right, how y'all doing? Hi.
Hey, what's up? I didn't know you like stopped by the college art department. Isn't that a
Well,
little like out of your? I don't know.
Art is an ephemeral thing, friend. It changes and shifts. If one wishes to be on the cutting edge, as it were, of the art world, one must go at the root.
Admirable.
That is fair.
The youth
Well,
will be
you-
the ones to supplant this world. This art is how they will express it. I find it fascinating.
Well, you picked a good one. She knows how to. I mean, she runs these all the time, so usually the place isn't like nice like this. Generally, we just can only hold them until like the cops show up. But so, thanks, I guess.
It's more than my pleasure. As a patron of the arts, I enjoy, well, I enjoy the work you and those close to you do. If there is one thing I regret in my long life, it's that I've not done enough to embrace the many arts around me. It's something I hope I can correct with the time I have left.
Well, maybe all your artistry went into your words, bro.
You flatter me.
That's what happened with me.
Are you saying I should put out a verse sometime? You'll set me up?
You can get in the booth whenever you want to. Just make sure that I am there.
Careful, I might just take you up on that.
Yeah, I can give one of your verses to and I'll look you up and down. Probably like a Earl sweatshirt type guy.
I'm honestly flattered. I would have been happy with like a Saba, but I'll accept
Saba,
this.
that definitely could have worked. We kind of retired the whole Raekwon deal, but
Yeah, I never really got the whole like Raekwon to Live Kweli era. It's great, it's good music. I can never get the vibe. Is that what the children say?
This is interesting. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm also kind of interested. Did Aurora stop when Malcolm said yes? Like, while this conversation is happening,
I am gonna.
because you were with someone, right?
I was.
Or no,
with
Uma.
Mal-
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, I got your character names backwards. I'm kind of interested in Uma. Like, you were with somebody, right?
I am absolutely here with my touchstone because my touchstone invited me. So, like, as soon as the conversation no longer concerns Uma, she dips. She's back to her.
Whoa. Hold on. I wanted to ask you a question.
Yes, what?
I can't ask you right here. Come here for a second.
Okay.
Table together if you need to. That shouldn't be a problem. I can own the place tomorrow if I have to.
What?
Saying go find some privacy if you need to. It's fine. If anyone makes a problem, I'll deal with them. Go.
Let's just make it quick. I'm here with someone important.
Yeah, you're not the only one. And once we're out of earshot, I'd like to go. So, I don't know if, there are all sorts of rumors that bounce around Elysium and stuff like that, but, do you know anything about turning someone into a blank body? Like, completely getting rid of any traces of where they might have lived in the past?
Do you need to be a blank body?
I mean, I've been trying to be one for the 3 or so decades. I've got a plane ticket that I need to get removed from certain records.
All right. ST, do I know anything about how to ensure someone is a blank body? I do have influential status in the anarch community.
You do, and I feel like the anarch community could probably help with that pretty effectively. You could probably drum up some contacts. It might take some time. It might take a couple of rolls, but and whatever they ask for in return. But you could definitely do it with enough desire to.
Okay. I'm just taking notes. Sorry. So I personally don't know, but I have people I can ask around and talk to, and I'm sure I could find you someone who can help you. Give me a little bit to work on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's, obviously I've waited years to do it. It's just something I've needed to take care of it. I just haven't had anyone that I trust with the information, let's say.
Well, I appreciate you trusting me with the favor. I'll let you know when I do something. Okay?
Appreciate it. And I'll let her return to her touchstone.
Yeah.
You see that Jeslyn is asking a lot of questions in front of the sculpture, and this younger person, you see them, you look and you're like, oh, okay, it starts to make sense. They're younger, darker skin, black, and some other mixed race. This is I made this, in a garage over at our house. And someone says, "Oh, what tools did you use for this? A sledgehammer and concrete and wood to make the frame." And Jeslin's like starting to ask some questions we don't really need to like, but it's starting to ask like, "Oh, what's the meaning behind this? Why did you choose to do this here? Why is it a feminine figure?" And he starts to answer questions like, "Oh, well, it represents like the sacrifices of motherhood and also of people in this country, stuff like that."
Gotcha. Yeah, I think Uma's just gonna kind of like sidle up to Jeslyn, like almost like she just like gone to get a drink or something, and just kind of like very casually like wrap an arm around her touchstone and just kind of chill.
If there's anything else you want to do in the scene, just let me know. But I feel like the two of you now just bounce back and forth between some of the pieces on display.
Yeah.
Jeslyn does take special interest in like the wall of various pieces of street art. And you see the Kay is the artist who's just like, yeah, I threw these up after the building around us got vandalized and the owners sold it. They threw up these wooden boards while they were selling the place, so I tagged them. And I mean, they were pretty fucking good, so I didn't want to just let them go to waste. So I got some buddies and we took down the pieces of wood that I tagged on, and we kept them.
Hey, this is great.
Yeah, not a lot of people they call it graffiti or vandalism, but it's an art itself, and people are gonna respect that one day. Going back, I feel like I don't have to. I feel like this is not much of an assumption. Going to Dustin, you're probably keeping an eye on the Thin Blood.
Yeah. I also have another thing I'd like to do at the same time, if you'd allow me.
What's the thing you want to do at the same time?
Actually, sort of keep an eye on him, but stand next to Malcolm. Be like, Malcolm, did you orchestrate having the other two here?
Difficult word to use, but not an incorrect one.
Okay, just checking. It was kind of suspicious. Please warn me next time. Yeah, if Malcolm's the one who got the other two here, then he will mostly focus on the Thin Blood.
I think before he lets you walk off, just Dustin, before you part, an inquiry. What is devotion like? Do you know?
Really philosophical question to ask. Does that have anything to do with our new visitor that I heard from the Valkyries about, that you haven't mentioned anything about?
Just indulge me, if you will.
I might be the wrong person to ask, considering my history with authority in general, but usually it's following an authority because you believe in them, I guess?
Interesting definition. Go on, then. Enjoy your evening.
Yes, enjoy. Mm-hmm. And we'll try not to be obviously following this Thin Blood.
So you're trying to like not see that they don't. Who are you trying to make it not obvious to?
To the Thin Blood. I don't care if anyone
Awesome.
else clocks this. And it is also looking for if they're doing anything with anyone else as part of the observation, but...
Well, you don't have to roll to see that they're kind of just hanging out at the back, really. I feel like an appropriate roll here is probably a stealth dexterity check against their wits and awareness, which is not the best roll that they have, but it's not bad. So go ahead and roll for me.
Yeah, it was Dex what?
Dexterity stealth.
Yeah, right. That's 46s. 6414.
That is not d6s. 4 d10s.
Oh, whoop! Sorry, I've got my systems backwards.
It's been a bit.
Whoops. Well, that's only 5 and a 10. I think are the only ones.
But that is a crit. Keep in mind you have
I
to
only got a 1.
note one of the dice to be hunger dice.
Oh, but I don't believe I have any hunger.
Everyone should have 1 hunger.
You can't go below 1 hunger unless you
Unless
drain
you
someone
kill
completely.
someone.
That is
Mhm.
correct,
Oh.
and you normally wake up with 1 hunger if you even had 0 the night before.
Alright, well, I did not add hunger dice to my roll, so
Okay.
that last one would be the
the
one.
hunger die counts as one of the 4 in your pool, just for the future.
Sorry. Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine.
Well, just the first 4.
Okay. So that is you definitely beat them. With
Oh,
2
really?
successes to 1. You feel pretty confident they like completely forgot you were there. They're like looking.
Mm-hmm.
They're not talking to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of staring, and you notice at one point they pull out like a phone and send some texts. You are not confident you can get close enough to read those texts.
You can.
But after a while, they just sigh. You don't really see any suspicious behavior or anything you're looking for from them. They seem to just be, at this point, a normal patron.
Yeah, but they're not looking at any art. They're sitting and waiting.
They're
right?
like they're standing back. They're not walking up and
Okay.
looking at plaques or asking questions or anything. They seem kind of bored, right? And you would associate this with someone who is dragged here by someone else, but they don't seem to be with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
With your natural like bodyguard work, you always keep an eye on people who are also coming in, and you do see one figure come in that you're like, huh. You see a very old white man in a black robe with a white I don't know what they're called. I still don't. I should probably have looked this up. Someone dressed in a Catholic priest's outfit with the little
Abbot?
white collar. That's what it is. Walks in, stares around. Aurora, you spot this person too. And so does Uma. I feel like all of you see this person come in. They like a lot of people like stopped because he pushed the door open.
He's dressed as a priest.
Yeah.
This is a person you recognize from episode 1. For those of you who encountered this individual, which I believe was actually just Uma, correct?
Probably.
Awesome.
If it's
I
the person we're thinking of.
ran into him for sure.
And with that, we're going to go to a break.
Ah!
Stick around after the break to find out more about this definitely not suspicious person. Everything is fine.
Yep.
It's a funny little coincidence that everyone's here tonight, and this person walks in.
Oh, pain.
Cool.
And
Shut.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
we're going to be right back. And welcome back, everybody. We are going to go until the end. We got another nice bit of story for you all tonight. But yes, the Kindred have seen this person walk inside. Very briefly before anything happens, he has his hands just at his side. Very disciplined, like straight walk. He just walks straight up and just stares directly at one of the art pieces of Zay. This one's a little more. It's not one of the ones I described before. This one is a very. It almost looks like it was inspired in part by Starry Night, but has also been heavily enhanced upon and has expressions of different types of impressionistic elements. Like there is also the same shadowy figure again, but they are like wrapped around the moon instead of like just being on the floor this time. Very whimsical. And he's just staring at it. But the floor is all of yours.
honestly kind of immediately eyeing this weird vibe putting out individual at my function, frankly, because I don't like harsh vibes being put out of my functions, and frankly, someone should address that.
Well, if you will, um, there's a moment like if this were a TV show and the camera were to like zoom in on Uma's face for like half a second, there would be that brief moment of recognition, followed by flashback shots. First, the flashback shot of Uma running into this man. Second, the flashback shot of Uma reading about the Society of St. Leopold. And third, a flashback of Uma interrogating Alexei about a man in black. Now, whether this is true or not is an entirely separate matter, but Uma thinks she just put a bunch of pieces together and she is not happy. And in that vein, Uma's gut instinct, and the first thing that she does is move as casually as she can towards Aurora. And almost like sidle up to Aurora, where if Aurora's facing this way, Uma is facing the other way, but like is shoulder to shoulder with Aurora, like, hey,
What's up?
listen, I think the Society of St. Leopold is here. We need to be very careful. You see that priest-looking guy?
I quickly just look through my peripheral. Yeah.
Yeah, before Elysium, he bumped into me, and I got a weird vibe. I don't think this is a coincidence at all. Can you let Malcolm and Dustin know? I got DJ.
Okay, we'll do.
Thank you.
While you two separate, I'm assuming you're keeping an eye on him. You do see that as he is staring at one of her pieces, Alize walks up. Father, is that the right? You have any questions you want to ask? And he's like, oh, no, my child, I am just observing here tonight. Are you the artist? That I am. It's quite excellent work. It's interesting. Painting demons and into landscapes. I wonder, is this how demons see the world? He's like, okay. And she just like walks away and goes to talk to other people.
I am going to walk, but like it doesn't look like I'm walking with purpose. But I'm gonna walk to Dustin. And Dustin, this is the first time you've ever seen Aurora not giggly or giddy or whatever, and looks at you and says, Society of Leopold. Uma thinks they're here.
I think Dustin would see him and, like, we don't get the flashback, but, like, same face of, like, huh, it's not a wrong assumption.
I'm gonna go tell Malcolm.
You do that. May I ask our wonderful GM if the person I'd already clocked noticed the priest and reacted in any way to that, or are these two separate instances by my estimation?
Go ahead and give me a wits awareness. Or actually insight would be better.
Alright, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna have the first D10 be the hunger one.
Okay, so that's 3 successes. Awesome, excellent. You see that this person has clocked the priest and is making their way towards the exit. Like, they're like, I'm not fucking with that. They're, like, leaving.
If Aurora's still there, he would just... You go tell Malcolm. Signal me if he does anything more than appreciate art like he's staring at paint drying. And I'm actually going to go intercept the Thin Blood from the door. Like, not aggressively, but attempt to just get between him and the door and get his attention, which we can come back to if we need to.
Okay.
No, this can be a quick aside. You catch up to him as he is, like, leaving.
And I'm not trying to be aggressive, but I am trying to make it clear that I want answers, be like very stern and just. So, do you recognize the priest?
I just don't like priests. What's up? I'm getting out of here before.
It's like, that's fair. Uh, who were you waiting for?
Waiting for?
You looked like you were waiting for someone here and were disappointed. If it's something personal, I get it, but there's too many coincidences today for me to not ask.
Yeah, it's personal, dude. We don't know each other like that.
It's fair. But I'm going to be honest, and he is going to step very close to him. Right now, I'm investigating something pretty heavy, and I'm going to ask the rest of the Thin Bloods to look out for some things. And if one of them tells me that what happened here wasn't personal, and it ends up being part of my business, we're going to have a problem.
He looks past you at where the person was standing. You should probably deal with Friar Tuck before you go around throwing threats. And I'm assuming you turn to look.
Yeah.
And in a moment, he is gone.
Is there any way I can, I don't know, memorize his face enough that I can point him out or describe him in great detail when I talk to the Thin Bloods?
You can recognize Devin again if you see him.
Mm-hmm. Just don't know that I actually got his name. I guess I remembered his name, so.
Yeah. Well, you only know his name is Devin.
Mm. Well, I'm not going to go after him. He wasn't technically doing anything, like, dangerous looking. I just clocked him as weird. So I will keep an eye on the priest, try and not be noticed by him as the same way.
Awesome.
Aurora is gonna walk up to Malcolm, and the way she walks up, it looks like maybe was it gives off the vibe that they're like on a date or something. And then she will loop her arm around him and go and sort of like put a hand on his chest and sort of whisper to everyone else. It sounds like she's whispering something like sweet nothings into his ear, but it's actually Society of Leopold is here. I think it's Uma says it's the priest guy.
Hmm. Awful coincidence for all us to be here at one time. Suppose it was only a matter of time till we found out why. What did you get to so far?
I don't know. Uma only told me to warn everyone.
Apologies, I've been distracted this evening. I'll confront our new guest and see what I can squeeze out of them.
Okay. And I'd be distracted too, if, you know.
I appreciate your understanding.
Good luck.
Thank you. You as well.
And I walk away and look at more art, but also keep an eye on Malcolm and the priest.
I'll fetch a glass of something and make my way over to the priest. Is there any
You're gonna
immediate
go
action
up
be
to him?
fetching? I mean, it's my fucking function. Fuck is this weirdo is here? Why not?
Awesome.
Not doing no
You
funny
walk up
duddy
to him.
bullshit again. We talked about this already.
You've probably encountered priests in your time. At least at the bare minimum. You go up to him. You have a drink in hand. Pretty easy to source one. You probably like stash one away. It's not that kind of function, but you're like, you never know when you're gonna need wine, so you just have a cup of wine, and you walk up to him, and he is still staring at the same painting.
Yeah, I'll just from behind move to a side of him and gesture gently the glass into his hand and just, yeah, it was empty. We should have fixed that earlier. Apologies. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
He looks at you. And who am I speaking to?
You have the pleasure of one Malcolm Duvernay's company. This is my affair. So again, I hope you are enjoying yourself.
This has been an insightful evening, to say the least.
Forgive my manners. And you, good sir.
Father Rictus.
Of the Church of Saint Leopold, correct?
No, my church is not quite that old.
Forgive. When one gets to an age as mine, you start to blend the memories. It's, well, consequence.
You don't look a day over 40.
Well, you know what they say about black, yes?
I have heard it does not crack. Yes.
Aphorisms aside, what brings a holy man to a place like this?
I am of the people, so I come to places of the people.
Hmm.
To learn, to observe, to protect.
Interesting. Cryptic answer, but suppose that might be your lot given, well. Nonetheless, I could not help but notice your, let us be to the point, effect on some of the guests. I simply felt it was best to check in, ensure you were satisfied with all the festivities and otherwise weren't requiring anything. Again, this is my affair, and so if there's a problem, I would like to look into it personally. You know, it's funny, speaking of personal, I know everyone on this guest list. I've worked with them, consumed their material, interacted with them personally. I know them all, and I have a very good memory. And yet, not a single shred of eidetic sense over you, Father. Curious, no?
Well, I paid at the door, of course. Yes, you organized this affair. One might say it's very generous of you to uplift young artists, especially young artists of color.
The world will be seized by the blood of the artist and the will of the martyr. Duco.
Well, what I can clearly see is a generous spirit. Some might take as, with your line of work, a shark merely lapping up their next acquiring.
Mayhap. And are you some, Father?
I am one of the many.
Hmm.
You've heard of the saying, the meek shall inherit the earth.
I have. Quite,
That
quite little verse. Do you know where they believe it's written from? They say it's one of the first Abrahamic texts, an earlier part of what became the Bible, as many now know it. But that isn't actually fully true. You see, it's originally attributed to an early Canaanite king. It's ironic saying he would say before he put to death those who would steal from him. Quaint history is.
you two are not looking at each other. He is still staring straight only at the painting.
Mm-hmm.
There are many who have done horrible things while claiming to be pious. And he turns as he says this specific line to look you in the eyes. But there are those with true faith.
And what a glorious tool faith can be.
What are the other members of the Coterie doing at this point?
Hmm.
I'm probably making a beeline for DJ. Because DJ's the only one who hasn't been alerted yet.
This would have
DJ.
DJ would have this would have happened before that conversation because it would have not taken that long to go over to him.
Yeah, DJ has reached his stare at paintings limit, so he's just in the corner eating some sunflower seeds. Except he's not eating them because he's dead. So he's just putting them in his mouth, sucking the salt off, thinking to himself, "Tastes like ash." Throws it away. Does another one. Tastes like ash. Throws it away. Does another one.
Too funny. Yeah. Uma will do her best to walk casually over to you, kind of lean up against the wall next to you, and go, "Hey, so you probably clocked the priest with the habit, right?"
Hold on a second. I have to make a personal roll real quick.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm
DJ
very
just like
concerned.
DJ is just staring at you for a second, then he goes, "What? Sorry."
The priest. With the
Right.
habit. Did you
Yeah.
clock him?
Homeboy over there. Yeah, I saw him. What's up?
You good?
You look good, by the way. No, it's just I didn't look at you when I first saw you.
Okay. All right. Sure. Okay. Thanks. I think. Listen, we've got slightly more pressing matters. Homeboy might be Saint Leopold. You get what I'm putting down?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Poorly,
DJ was
he kind of like bumped into me on the street, and seeing him here again is kind of setting off all kinds of alarm bells.
gotcha. DJ
Alarm
will
Alarm
put
bells.
his DJ will put the sunflower seeds. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
DJ will put his sunflower seeds into his pocket as he stands up, and he's just gonna roll up his sleeves and say, "All right, I'll pull his head off," and just start walking toward the priest.
DJ, what?
What? What?
Did you say you're gonna pull his head off?
I mean, I'm not gonna do it here. But yeah, just go out back.
No.
Hes dispense room.
Bruh, if that's Leopold, we don't want to make an enemy. But, fire alarm.
Oh, is that what you meant? I mean, yeah, that sounds like it'll work.
We
While
need
you two are
everybody
talking,
out of here.
Jesselyn does come up.
Oh, boy.
Oh, hey, you disappeared. Oh,
Hey.
it's you again.
Sorry
Hey,
about that. I got to talking.
Red? Green. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. I got to
Yeah.
talking with Green. Great music taste. Yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to disappear on you, hun.
Yeah, so get a load of that, dude. And she just gesture over to the priest.
Yeah, it must be Ash Wednesday.
Amen. And Aurora will slide her hand around Jesselyn's waist again and like make big eyebrows at DJ where Jesselyn can't see, and then go, "All right, let's go. What do you want to look at next?" And like slide her off again.
As soon as you look over at DJ, he's gonna wink, and I'm going to activate celerity, and I just want to like essentially like just flash step over to the nearest fire alarm without being
Interesting.
noticed.
I'd
Just
like
sort
to
of like-
point something out before you do this.
Sure.
The sculpture, fine. The street art is spray painted. It'll last. You are fairly confident that these paintings will be ruined if you do this.
Hmm. Fucking. Why you gotta throw complications at me?
Of course, I've got it for complications.
Do I know where Alize is?
Alize is actually standing over talking with Kay, the other artist of the the street art.
Balls.
Quick aside, are Dustin and Aurora doing anything specific, or are you just waiting for something to happen?
I'm keeping an eye on him.
Okay.
I actually want to maybe. I don't know if I need a role to plan for this, but my plan is to maybe stand next to Malcolm, like I am actually his bodyguard, and see if I can't find a good opportunity to put one of my bloodstones in like the priest's back pocket, if there is one in his habit. Any extra pockets he has? I don't know if he has any.
So obviously the habit is worn over other clothing. To get it into the back pocket, you would have to reach down under the gown and up. And while the priest might not notice that, everyone would see you lift the back of the priest's habit and put something in their pants.
Yeah, it's got to be more subtle than that. Also, he would definitely notice that. You can't lift someone's entire jacket without them noticing.
You never know.
I don't know.
Yeah, if that's not the case, I don't know how big these are, but like fit in his collar or something. I'm not doing it at this moment. I'm looking for the right opportunity to do it. When he like could bump into me or
flash drive, you know.
So, I don't like this. Well,
but you can go
Give him
stand
a
next
souvenir
to
bag. Some shit like that. I don't know. Little party, little to go bag, little.
I'm
souvenir
convinced
bag.
a priest would just drop
Party
that in the
favor.
trash.
That seems like it'd be
Like, what do they
really
need that for?
ungodly, frankly.
Litter.
They're
This ain't
living in a
God,
monkish
let's be
lifestyle.
real.
All right. Well, you know what? Listen,
It seems like that's giving men of God more credit than they deserve there, Leona, but sure.
that seems incredibly. Listen, that I feel like now we're getting philosophical, and let's not.
You asked me what devotion was.
But that was in character.
Alright, anyways.
Speaking of devotion, do you go and stand by Malcolm at this point? Because you now
I'm
see
gonna
them
stand
looking
like
at each
just
other.
respectfully, like respectful distance that a bodyguard would take, because this guy doesn't look like a threat at this moment.
Alright. And it is at this point, as you walk up, you hear that last line about true faith. And as they look at each other in the eyes. At this point, Greed, you make it to Alizé.
Oh God, no! I wasn't going over there. If I were to throw this switch, I would only do so if she couldn't see me. But I'd
Interesting. I feel like that would be a stealth check.
I'd like to text Uma and say, is the fire alarm necessary, or can we just scare them out?
Shout fire instead of.
Whatever evacuates this building as fast as possible so that we can get out, our people can get out, and that guy can't get anything on us.
Cool.
So if you don't want to do the fire alarm, come up with something fast.
I'm gonna make a couple rouse checks then. I will instead use celerity to disappear into the back. And I believe fleetness does require a rouse check.
I think that is the case, yes.
So let's see.
Sure does.
I get hungrier. Good start.
Awesome.
Coolio. Love that for me. What a gamer move. And I would like to pull out the Desert Eagle that I take with me everywhere. I'd like to put on a black hoodie that I keep in my car and a balaclava. And I want to turn Daunt on and act like I'm robbing the place.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right then.
Okay, so you are going to roll an intimidation for this. So to determine so you add the bonus dice for Daunt. Go ahead, and this will be a I guess this would be a manipulation intimidation check.
If you say so. Okay. 2. Manipulation. Intimidation. It's not that many dice. What's my target number?
You're only looking for like 2 successes or 1.
All right.
One will have a complication, 2 will, and succeed. 2 will work.
Well, that's 2 successes, but one's a bestial success.
Awesome. So you come in. You have. Did you have a weapon?
Oh yeah, I've got like my oversized
Desert
Desert Eagle that I keep.
Yeah,
on me.
right. You pull the gun out and you have this balaclava on, and you say, "What do you say when you kill everyone?"
I kick in the door, fire into the ceiling, and I say, with this unnatural like grit and growl to my voice, I will say, "Everybody, get the fuck out now!"
And you didn't mean for it to be too loud, but you shout that last line. People scream, and you see Kay grabs Alize, and it's like, let's get the like, and they duck and they start like swerving the zigzag, and it is just a rush because there's only like one exit.
Yep.
As people start crowding out, and the father has looked at you, has not moved. He's turned around to face DJ Green.
Can I get a little of the, like, since the bestial success and my Bruja clan curse, DJ is going to take a little affront to the fact that this motherfucker doesn't even seem phased. And I am going to start stepping toward him, and I'll say, "Father, don't think you heard me. Leave."
So at this point, all of the mortals have cleared out. Jezelyn is trying to pull you, Uma, and is like, because you two were closer to the exit. Like, let's get the fuck out of here. Come on.
I will follow her, because I do not mind using my celerity to flash back in here as soon as I need to. So I'm gonna let her lead me out for the moment.
Okay. So it is just the 4 of you in the room. Everyone else has exited at this point. And the father, and he says, "I was just leaving." And he tries to leave. Do any of
Fucking
you...
toodaloo. Out you go.
Hi.
I think this
May
is more
God
flavor
be
because I don't
with
want to
you and
like
all that shit.
take agency from anyone else. But Dustin definitely, 1, didn't know this was the plan, and 2, doesn't think it's a great one that we all stayed here instead of evacuating at the same time. He will attempt to have like bodyguarded Malcolm away if Malcolm would let him.
I need to see how this plays out.
So you would like stop him and just, yeah, all right.
All right.
And that, yeah, if anything, I would. It's so hard to do this with this priest literally in front of us and DJ already in the middle of the whole robber act. But I would have said it could have been a great time to like pretend to frisk OG and slip a bloodstone on him or something. But I don't know how to get that to DJ without also letting OG know that's the plan. So I don't, not super sure what to do here.
DJ will turn to I'm trying to think of, because now he's pissed. He's like actually mad because Bruja.
And don't worry about it.
In fact, there's a mechanic for this. Would you
There sure is.
Would you like to roll to resist a fury?
If you think I should, I would not like to, because I really don't want to fly into a frenzy.
Uh-oh.
Well, suppose we'll find out.
Spaghetti-o.
You know, if you don't want to roll for it, you can just ride the wave. That's always an option.
No, I don't like the way you said that, so I'm definitely not doing that one. Let's see. Subtract dice to resist frenzy. Frenzy's a willpower roll, right?
Yes, it is like composure and willpower. You roll those that
2,
many dice.
6, and then subtract 1 for Bane severity. That's only 2 successes.
I feel like 2 successes probably succeeds anyway. It's not a terribly hard check. But
Thank
it is
God.
like barely contained rage, and in fact, I'm going to have you make another rouse check for us really quick.
For fuck's sake.
You
I
get even hungrier. Okay, awesome.
So I'm at hunger 3.
Oh.
Oh, that's not good.
Uh-oh.
But at this point, he has joined the crowd outside. And Uma, you spot him enter the crowd, but you're like surrounded by other people.
Mhm.
And you see him like purposefully walk off. Like just other people are running, but he is stepping.
Okay, but he is for sure leaving, or does it look like he might linger?
No, he's leaving.
Okay. I'm gonna tail him from a distance. Is that
Stealth check for me.
possible?
Yeah, dex stealth.
Okay.
What do you say? What do you say to Jezelyn though?
I'm gonna tell her, hey, let's get you in a cab, let's get you home. I just wanna double check on something, okay? I'll be right back, I promise.
What the? Okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
get
I know,
out of
that
here.
was super weird. Let's get you in a cab, babe, okay?
And she holds her hand. Be safe, okay?
I will, I promise. And with that, what did you say, sorry? Dex stealth?
Dexterity and stealth, please.
Got it. Essentially, while I'm plugging this in, I actually have a +2, which we've said was an add a die, so I'm gonna add a die.
Go
Actually,
ahead and use that.
I have 2 of those. I'm gonna burn both of them. That is 4 successes.
4 successes, awesome. So
I'm trying to
see what-
stay like far behind. Like I don't want him to catch my attention, but like I just want to make sure that he stays gone. You know, I don't want to actually like catch up to him or anything.
you said 4, right?
Yeah.
Out of his pool of 7
Ah!
for this, he rolled 3 successes and a crit.
No.
Oh.
But you go ahead and you need to give me an insight now. Wits is insight.
What's inside? All right.
Yes, please. And he is going to contest this as well.
That is not good. That is 1 success.
Okay, interesting. 1 success. Well, this is still very. Nope, that's 3 successes. Okay.
Oh. Not
You
cool.
follow him, and you see he looks to both sides to check for someone, and he dips down an alleyway.
Okay. Do I think he spotted me?
He didn't seem to spot you.
All right. If he seems like he's dipped down an alleyway, like he seems like he's actually GTFOing, I will head back so that I can head inside. And I was.
He does head like he seems to be going somewhere, and when he looked to both sides, he kind of glanced in your direction, did not spot you, and is just like going like he is still walking with the same pace, like he's looking like he's heading somewhere.
Oh, okay. So it looks intentional.
It does look like he's intentionally going down this like alleyway.
All right. Cool. I will keep following then.
Okay. When you turn the corner into the alleyway, you see him pop out. And give me a moment, because I need to remind myself what you roll against this.
Eeh.
Shit. Okay, hold on. There it is. As you step around, he comes out with a cross made of nothing but wood.
Oh, hell
I
no.
need you to make a remorse test right now.
Oh, hell no. Okay. Remind me how the fuck I do that.
Remorse test.
A remorse test, I believe it is under the frenzy category.
Oh, no, it's right there under humanity. Remorse test.
Oh, awesome.
2 successes. Woo! Actually, one of those is a crit.
2 successes. One of those is a crit. Awesome. So that's 3. Okay, so you did succeed.
Yeah.
As you round the corner, he says, "I know what you are. Repent!"
And I know what you are!
Even on a success, a vampire collapses into a helpless a heap of self-loathing and disgust. I am reading straight off of the dots.
God damn.
Unable to act in anything but their own self-defense for a number of turns equal to their current stains to the minimum of 1. So for 1 turn, you can only defend yourself, and in addition, you immediately flee in a terror frenzy.
Okay.
Even
so
on a success.
I don't even get a word in edgewise. I just, like, crumple to the ground and or run away?
That is correct.
Oof. Okay. Alright. Well, then I will GTFO back to where I came from.
As you are running away, he says one more thing.
Yes.
I will find each of you and remove you from this land. And you just run. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session, everybody.
Oh,
Dun, dun,
Wasn't it a funny coincidence?
It
Yeah,
sure
Funny
magic.
coincidence that happened. We're going to go ahead and do some quick outros because I know people got to bounce. We're going to start in reverse order this time. Foxy, go ahead and do your outro.
Hey friends, I'm Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite fox. Tonight I played Malcolm Duvernay, Toreador, Miscreant, Art Connoisseur, and you know the rest of the speech. Next place you'll see me here would be on Wednesday for the return of Frozen Rain. It's supposed to be a real banger of an episode, so come along for that. Should be fucking awesome. I got a big robot and feelings, and yeah. Other than that, I'm around on the internet doing all kinds of cool stuff. Only thing that I will shout out that's other more important than that is that not this Friday, but next Friday, I will be coming back to my charity campaign I run with some of the lovely people here under Twilight Skies. We want to raise more money for a good cause while punching fascists and giant robots. It's going to be a great time. Anyway, take care. Have a wonderful night. Bye. Mwah.
All right, continuing on. Go ahead and give your outro, Tate.
Well, hello, Twitch. My name is Tate Washburn. You can find me at kinda_writing, where I mostly just do, like, memes, politics, tabletop stuff, etc. But what you should really do is follow this channel's Twitter, at Neon Lights Our Play, because that's where we do a lot better jokes, and we announce all of our good games and when we're doing stuff. And join our Discord, because that's where we do a lot of fun memeing and voice chat and just have a good time, and sometimes draw players from it, too. Next thing you'll see me in is actually this 2 weeks from now, and then also the Friday after that, as Foxy mentioned, with our... I've just forgotten the name of it. But yes, that one.
Under Twilight
Under
Skies.
Twilight Skies.
Thanks.
Okay.
Going on to
Oh.
the left, go ahead.
Hey, I'm Glyza. I go by they, them. I played Aurora Ballin today. I'm a person of many hats. I'm a podcast host. I'm a writer. I'm a variety streamer. I'm a talk show host of a show called Trial Run. I'm also a TTRPG personality. Like I mentioned earlier, to see all of the stuff I'm in, just check out bio.link/classical Glyza, where I will eventually post my schedule. But just look for it Classical Glyza everywhere on the socials, but especially on Twitter, because I do make all of my announcements there. I'm also occasionally hilarious, and I try to be a delight. Thank you. Next.
All right, continuing on. Go ahead whenever you're ready, D.
Hello, my lovely children of the dark. My name is D. I am a chaos gremlin that causes problems on every corner of the internet. As always, I appreciate you for coming and listening to DJ Green. He is a troublemaker of his own sort. You can find me in various places doing various things, but mostly you should follow me on Twitter at It's the Riddler, and you can come to my streams that happen periodically, twitch.tv/It's the Riddler. I am still the reigning and retaining TTRPG Universal Champion. And if you want to know where you can possibly win a belt like this, you should really follow me on Twitter.
Last but certainly not least, Leona? You haven't gone yet.
You are next.
I'm so sorry, I spaced out. Hi, I'm Leona. You can find me on Twitter at the Leona Maple. That is the best place to find me, follow me, and keep up with whatever on earth it is that I'm doing, because I don't even know my own schedule sometimes, honestly. So yeah, find me there. Tonight I have been our little friend Uma, who, oh no, ouch, oof, ow, ah. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Come back here in 2 weeks. Bye.
I am Milan, also known as Mallard. I have been your ST or your story tormentor for tonight. You can find me over on Twitter at MallardMan_ and Twitch as at MallardMan, or not, there's no at twitch.com or twitch.tv/MallardMan. I play a variety of games. You should follow me. I think this Thursday we're doing a special stream with one person you might recognize, a certain It's the Riddler. We're playing, I think, are we doing the Civ challenge thing again?
Oh God, I didn't even think about that. We can do the challenge too. Yeah, sure.
It's a very fun challenge. You should all, if you are a fan of strategy games, it's an interesting take. In addition, you can go ahead. Nope, that finale happened already. So, I don't have anything to shout out except for the Through Hollow Flames podcast on Twitter at Through Hollow Flames Pod, or no, just at Hollow Flames Pod. Go ahead and catch up on the backlog because I think we're coming back relatively soonish. But it should give you
in the fall.
And it should give you enough time to catch up before our next episode airs. And you should certainly do that because there are so many great people on that cast. And I have been personally victimized by our GM, how dare they, for doing that to me. Other than that, I have nothing to shout out. And I think we're good to go. So I think I'm just going to wish you all a lovely evening. And don't let the bed kindred bite.
Stick around for it. And credits on raid.
Bye. Bye.
Forever blue. Forever blue. I'm putting on a show for the world to see. No one will ever know that without you, I'm forever blue. Yeah, I'm putting on a show for the world to see. No one will ever know that without you, I'm forever blue.